Hello, and welcome to the BYU Admissions Fireside. I'm your host, Jacob Hicks. Today I look forward to answering 3 basic questions for you. First, why you should think about BYU. Second, how to get into BYU. And third, how to pay for it. Now, each of you prospective students out there has an admissions representative here at BYU to help you. I am the representative for the Southwest United States and within the state of Utah, Davis County, Southern Utah, and other rural Utah counties. In addition to this online fireside you're watching now, you can also meet one of us in person at one of our CESB Smart Education Firesides this fall. And throughout today's presentation, you'll learn a variety of Cougar facts as presented by Whitney, the tour guide. All right, Whitney, take it away.
Thanks, Jacob. Hi, I'm Whitney, the tour guide, and let's see if you know this Cougar fact. How many different courses are offered at BYU during one school year? Is it A, 3,000? Or is it B, 4,750? Or is it C, 6,150? If you guys C, you're right. BYU offers 6,150 different courses here during one school year.
Now let's just jump right in. To answer the first question, why we think you should consider BYU as a post-secondary option, there are 3 aims to BYU education that we feel enhance any student's experience here on campus. Those aims are to intellectually enlarge a student, to build their character, and to strengthen them spiritually. First, let's jump into how BYU's education would enlarge your intellect. One of the ways that a BYU education is intellectually enlarging is through the opportunity of undergraduate teaching and a mentored research focus. BYU's mission is primarily focusing on the undergraduate student. The Board of Trustees has decided that BYU is going to emphasize on an undergraduate in that professors will work directly with undergraduates not yet having received their bachelor's degree. Students have the opportunity to do research just like master's or PhD candidates may have elsewhere. Students are able to do research on cancer or on plant DNA, many opportunities that are very real for students long before they even have an undergraduate degree. In addition, those faculty spend time with you in helping you develop and receive grants to help fund some of that research as an undergraduate that can be especially competitive for graduate school applications and for the workforce eventually. You can see that mentioned here in this news article. Over the last 2 decades, BYU has sharpened its focus on mentored learning and undergraduate research, spending millions of dollars each year to ensure that students get the chance to compete at higher levels and produce scholarly work often reserved for graduate students elsewhere. BYU's world-class facilities also enable a student to have an outstanding education that prepares them for the future. From our supercomputer lab to our acoustic sound lab, our planetarium where students can see all of the stars in the sky, students have a breadth of opportunity that enables them to continue to see how the real world applies to their learning in the classroom. The beautiful grounds at BYU are gorgeous to look at and allow a student to focus on education and to study both indoors and outdoors, particularly when the weather affords it. Beyond what we could say ourselves about the excellence of BYU education, academics have been ranked highly by many other outside entities, as you can see here. From our outstanding business programs to anything in family therapy and beyond, BYU students have wonderful programs to choose from and nearly 200 majors. If there's something you want to study, we likely have it or something close to it. The faculty here at BYU plays an integral role in helping students have an outstanding academic experience. They're the ones who are instrumental in helping students have research opportunities. In fact, you'll hear from a couple in this video. Let's take a look.
Mentorship plays an incredibly important role. The faculty here we have a history of being in an industry. We didn't just go to grad school and then come straight into teaching. We all paid our dues out in industry and we understand industry. And so the students have confidence that when we teach them and we mentor them and we guide them, they understand that we're coming with experience. And I think that's important for me, and I think it's important to the students as well. And we have to be right there with our students, showing them how to do things. When I bring in projects frequently that I'm working on, like when I was working on Iron Man and when I'm working on short films, I always recruit students to work with me and I mentor them along the way.
I have an open office for my office hours, and I encourage the students to come in and talk to me anytime they want to. I wish more would do it. I even prefer if they'll just call me by my first name, just call me Norm. BYU is an integral part of the building of the kingdom of God. It has some sacred and important role in that process. BYU exists because of the education and experience it provides to students. And the expectation is that those students will then go forth and be a powerful force for good in the world. And that somehow that powerful force for good is crucial to the building of the kingdom. We enter to learn, and we go forth to serve.
The second aim of a BYU education is character building. That's accomplished in a variety of ways. First, the breadth of curriculum. Students have over 6,000 different classes each academic year to choose from. Those classes range from the traditional all the way to specific areas of study about an author, for example, Dante's Divine Comedy, or the more lighthearted like floral design, or even astronomy, where a student can see all of the stars and learn the constellations as they lie down in the planetarium in the Carl F. Eyring Science Center. Beyond the classes, students have many clubs to join outside the classroom. We have over 200 clubs every academic year, from the Too Tall Club for girls 5'10" and taller and guys 6'2" and taller, to the Barbecue Club, where guys who serve their missions in Brazil love to cook up meat and hand that meat out to the students if they pay a nominal fee in Brigham Square. Students have an opportunity to develop greater character through a variety of cultural events and performances throughout the year. In fact, over 500 performances alone in the Harris Fine Arts Center are performed every academic year.
But that's not everything, Jacob. Students can attend many of those events for free. We have 7 concert halls on campus. From music to theater to arts, you students can attend these events just like this dance concert.
For those of you who love to play the sports yourselves, I'd encourage intramural sports. We've got nearly 30 intramural sports offered throughout the year. Those are free opportunities for students as you gather together with members of your ward or those you handpick. Everything from the traditional like basketball or football to inner tube water polo or ultimate frisbee. We'd encourage students to be involved in that, especially those of you who might not be playing a sport at the next level. You certainly can keep up your athleticism through intramurals. We have study abroad programs in over 50 nations. In fact, students studying any subject can study abroad, whether it's converting coconut oil to diesel fuel in Samoa for an engineering major, to studying another language in a foreign country. A study abroad opportunity awaits you if that's something you're desiring. Division I sports. I'm a huge sports fan myself, but students for $110 a year or so can buy an all sports pass. It allows you to attend every home sporting event each year. That would include all 6 home football games, every home basketball game, and the other intercollegiate sports you could name here at BYU.
That's right, Jacob. Every home sporting event is accessible to students with an all sports pass. The BYU Cougars have proved their strength on a national level, winning a total of 10 national championships in multiple sports in NCAA competition. And home field advantage really does mean advantage, doesn't it, boys?
That's right, Whitney.
It means all the difference for us.
Do you know what it means to attend an athletic event here at BYU as a student?
Do you?
Do you really?
If you're a fan of the outdoors, Utah Valley is the place for you. Here on campus, there are lots of opportunities, but getting beyond campus, going up Provo Canyon, or hiking White Mountain, or wakeboarding at Utah Lake, canoeing the Provo River. It goes on and on and on. If you love camping, hiking, swimming, fishing, whatever it is, Utah Valley is a great place for you to enjoy those exploits outside the classroom. These opportunities I've just shared with you that you could potentially have outside the classroom are important in the development of a student's character as part of that aim of a BYU education. And the third aim of a BYU education is spiritually strengthening. If this aim of a BYU education did not exist, BYU would not exist. The importance of developing a student's intellect, character, and ultimately their spirit as a child of God is so essential to the BYU experience. With over 20 Stakes of Zion and over 250 student awards, every student at BYU has the opportunity to be a part of a congregation here on campus. Every campus building is dedicated as the house of the Lord. Classes are held Monday to Saturday in those buildings, but on the Sabbath, the Lord's Day, those buildings become houses of worship where the students gather together for their block of meetings. Now, every student who attends BYU commits to live the CES Honor Code. That honor code includes a code of conduct, which likely will be consistent with the standards that you have been living as a youth, found in the For the Strength of Youth pamphlet that the church publishes. It does include the word of wisdom and the law of chastity and other commitments of honor and integrity that students here at BYU are expected to live. Beyond that code of conduct, it also includes dress and grooming standards. They encourage students, young men, to be clean-shaven, young women to have shorts and skirts knee length or longer, and also to avoid revealing or strapless or backless clothing. It helps students to focus on their education, that spiritual development, that character development, and to intellectually enlarge. The Honor Code also includes residential living standards, which allow each of you living in apartments or dorms here in the BYU area to be protected as a student. It allows you and your roommates and friends and family members and those in your ward to have good experiences in the apartments and dorms as you continue to live the Honor Code. Another way a student's spirit is strengthened is through the weekly campus devotional. Every Tuesday morning from 11 a.m. to noon, all of campus shuts down. No classes are held, offices are closed, and all the students and all the faculty and staff are encouraged to go to the Marriott Center to watch that week's campus devotional, or what is known monthly as a university forum. In the past 3 years alone, every member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles and First Presidency has spoken to the campus community at this hour-long devotional. Other recent addresses at the campus forum include Ken Burns, the filmmaker, Captain Jim Lovell from Apollo 13, and Paul Rusesabagina, the hero in the movie Hotel Rwanda. University devotionals and forums can really bless a student's life. In fact, let's take a look.
Devotionals are amazing. I remember one of the devotionals that Elder Holland gave when he came here, I think at the beginning of winter semester. He just gave a message that was so poignant and very well timed for me. And like anything that I've been pondering about or just stressing about, it just addressed. In the devotionals, it seems as if they're written to me to help me.
The religion isn't a separate class, it's in everything. Even in your economics class or in your science, your biology class, you get the chance to start class with prayer. You get the chance to bring in gospel topics, open the scriptures even and see how economics can be found in the Book of Mormon. Just to see how intertwined everything is was something that really strengthened my testimony, even in those classes that weren't religion classes.